Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Line of Code. I am One Line. My OBS is being very laggy. What's going on? Resources. Hi, happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing fantastic today. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Hopefully the sound is coming through okay. I don't see anything wrong with the audio track, but the video might be skipping at 20 frames per second. Why? I'm gonna blame the camera. So we'll try restarting that. I am only using 50% CPU and now drop down to 40, 30, probably mostly Visual Studio, memory, Java. Right, let me stop the local L2 server since we're not using it. Good to see you too, Rubling. Dev. I'll get this skipping sorted. It could also be my new device. Java breaking things. I guess it hasn't had coffee yet. You know, it's funny. I had an extra cup of coffee today. Just what, 10 minutes ago? 20 minutes ago? I was pampering myself. All right, lineage 2, stop. Anything? Nope. Nope, still 20 fips. Irony overload. It's good to pamper. Hello, Irish John Games. Happy Monday to you. I mean, Wednesday to you. I don't want to confuse you. I know that it's already hard enough to keep track of days. Sorry about that. Anyway, shout out to Irish John Games. Just a quick one. Everyone knows Irish John Games. He's an amazing game developer working on this really cool game called Rise of Piracy that will be in early access S***N. And it's not even listening to my bot. Refresh. Oh dear. Oh dear, that's bad. Everything is being weird. I should have restarted my computer this morning. I was thinking of it. Where's my Twitch bot? It's okay though. Stream Elements will eventually give us the link for the Steam page. Dukabot, whenever it comes around, has a link to the Microprose page. But yeah, check out Irish John Games streaming Monday through Saturday at 8 p.m. UTC +1. I don't know your time zone, man. He is on a partner push. He's getting really, really close to the end, but of course, after sending in the application this weekend, he will want continued support so that he can maintain the viewer count, the followers, the subscriptions, etc., for keeping all of the excuses that Twitch could make for denying him partner from happening. Okay, connect with Twitch. Connect to chat, please. But yeah, I am doing well. I may seem a little bit distracted because I was in the middle of thinking through the thing that I'm trying to work on for my work product and didn't really shift gears fast enough to give myself a break between doing the work and now. So I am still stuck on the issue that I'm working through. That didn't fix the video, but that did fix chat. And thank you so much for the lurk, Rob Lang. And Fresh Meat is here. Hello, Fresh Meat. I hope you're doing well. Yes, and the partner push emojis for Irish John Games. Thank you for that. Can we not see it in the probably already skipped through, but you could probably see it in the chat over there. Dude. Okay, camera, deactivate. So the thing that I recently got was a device to be able to hook up my guitar to the computer so that I could play directly from my guitar, record on the computer, blah, 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 blah. And that has its own audio device, so audio output. So I'm gonna turn that off. Anything? Anything at all? It wasn't that. And again, I have plenty of CPU and memory. Where's GPU use, please? It's only using 34% of the GPU. We might have to go without camera today if I'm going to be all glitchy and stuff. But let's see what the desktop looks like as far as cast. Whoa. What? The camera works just fine in this scene. I don't know what happened. I blame this scene. We're back at 60 frames. 0 dropped frames that whole time though. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Just doesn't like your big head. True. True. I don't blame it. That's the end of the song. That's why it doesn't seem like there's music playing. Okay. So one thing that I loved, what's up with the scene combination? Futuristic trees and a cool futuristic trees? Is that what we had back there? Let me get rid of this and add thing. Oh, I hate the ads that don't actually have an X and they only have this close button, which sometimes acts as a link to try to open the advert. These are futuristic trees. We're looking at, oh, I'm going to mispronounce this, Sihung, South Korea, on sometime in June at around 13:30 in the day. Scene seems better now. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like the camera just didn't want to work on this scene when I first came to it, but when I left it and came back, it's like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and be 60 frames per second. Why not? It's just all the it's just all the different stuff. There's a word missing there that looks futuristic, and then there's modern trees. I see. So like my headphones, my shirt, my, I don't know what else. The background. Caches maybe. Aw, caches. But yeah, so we are good. We can keep going. When last we spoke, we were working on this project, and the specific part of the project that we're on is redesigning the UI. It is going fantastic. We finished the mobile view version of the UI. It works. It does what we want. It matches the design that we got. We don't have any more horizontal scroll overflow happening, and it looks really, really, really close to the design. I did keep the rounded corners on the cards. I did not change the backgrounds. Ooh, I didn't even notice that was a thing until just now. We should have a gradient for the background of the cards. Oops. Did I commit this last time? I think I did. We have changes to the solution. What changes? we made a change to index.html by adding a couple characters. I don't think so. Oh, right. Because what I did do was copy the rendered HTML from the page, which, like I said, we're not going to get the bundled CSS from immediately. But it's to mock the page so that when we do refresh the page and come to it, it looks solid. It doesn't look like it's trying to load an application. It just looks like a page shows up, since this is all static content. So I have it in HTML in the rendered version. Then once the application does load, any interactables, like if this get started button was more than just a link, which I'm thinking it's going to be, but if it's more than just a link, then that would be interactable. The menu drop down, etc., etc. Hamburger menu. Why isn't that centered? Oh, that's going to bother me. Dilly Millie says, now is this going to be an actual thing that is used for the public or just a project for fun to use for private? So the intention was to replace my current version of this application, which is an Access, Microsoft Access file. And thank you for the lurk, fresh meat. So I track my finances manually so that I can make sure I'm keeping track of what I'm spending money on. I used to be really bad with money, in a detrimental way. And yeah, so I started tracking my finances using Microsoft Access. Yeah, you're definitely allowed to be wherever you are, interact as much as you want. No requirements, no expectations, but really glad to have you here. So yeah, so I've been using Microsoft Access to do this for a million billion years, and I was like, I really want this to be a web app. So I tried making it into a web app once before, and I was like, this is going to be easy. I know how to make an MVC application. So I started with MVC, and then I started putting it together, and I'm like, what about this? What about this? What about this? I'm like, oh, I wasn't thinking about it from a design perspective. Then I dropped it for a while, and I just kept using Access in my accompanying Excel workbook. And then I was like, just leaving it like that and happy with it, because I'm still able to track my finances, see my outlook for the year essentially, and plan on how to not use as much money as I used to. So I did that, and I was working at the same time, so I didn't really touch it. I didn't think about it much. I just used it. I got frustrated with a few things about how Access works, and just, you know, some small annoyances that I'm like, I want to come back to this, but I don't have time right now. So then I left the job that I was doing when I first started streaming, which meant that I wasn't able to stream the same content because it was my work products. Then I switched over to this project. I did ask-ish, what should we work on since I can't stream my work product? And came up with some ideas and chose this one. And we did the design and all that stuff. And that's where we are. Long story short, that's where we are. And the reason, long story short, is because I want to get back to this. So I'm happy with the mobile view, except for the background on the cards, which is missing. I wonder if in an earlier stream I decided that we're just not going to care about the background. Oh. Yeah, I don't see myself making that decision. I just probably completely overlooked it. So let's get some background on the cards, which is where? Where are my styles for the backgrounds on the cards? Would it be in the actual component that uses the cards? That's where I would put it if I were me. Hey. Or did I create a separate card override and put all of the stuff in here? Okay, so good. This is just default styling, which is what I expected to see in card override. And the ones specific to the track transactions section are overridden in the track transactions. Cool, great, fantastic, wonderful, marvelous. Dilly Millie says, when I had my roommate back in December, I coded everyone's bill in Python for a fun, simple project. Awesome. It didn't get onto a web, just stayed in terminal. Cool. Yeah, and that's kind of how my Access database is, where it's just a file that lives on the computer. It does connect to a SQL Server database for the backend, but that means that all of the connection information is either needing to be configured in the PC's OCDB. You know what I'm talking about. Take me to control panel. I can't think of what it's called. None of these. Did this change? It kind of feels like this changed. What happened to the admin controls? Did those move? And also what happened to the SQL connection thing? Like, I'm probably overlooking it and it's right there in front of me, but I am blind right now. One by one. One by one. My eyes are still skipping around everywhere. Yeah, it's gotta be here. Okay, so this is, no, this is even different. What? What? Like, this is where you find services. Oh, yeah, here. ODBC data sources. I was about to say data. So these, if you have this configured on your computer, then you can configure a named data source in the access file, but then you need to do that on every computer you're accessing that Microsoft Access file. Why do they call it access? So that's one thing. Or you can define it in the macro that is being used to connect to the database and dump data there. And I would rather just have a web application with a backend that handles all of the connection strings for me. And then I can switch to a test database or a production database or whatever I feel like doing. So that's what we did. Okay, card is going to have a background of linear gradient starting at 0, and it's going to be a horizontal gradient, which means that I don't think I need to change anything, because I think by default it is a horizontal gradient. I need Windows Shift C, and we'll start at this color. And this color should be close enough. So 1A 0B26 should be close enough to my darkest purple. So purple 0. We're going to compare them. Where are my colors? Colors. Nope, that's card. I can read. I told you. It is very difficult for me to see stuff. There is no purple 0. This is much darker. Oh, so weird, because it would be like here. But anyway, we're going to use purple 3. Oh, it's still quite a bit different. I mean, the green and blue values are pretty close, but this is different by like 6, which I guess wouldn't be that big of a difference. So we'll go from purple 3 to purple 1. See what that looks like. Zero. Is there a comma after you put what angle? Yes. Yes, there is. Dilly Millie says, I've personally never used that before. Which thing? The Windows Shift C? Or... because the Windows Shift C is a tool that you can download called DevTools. And it's for Windows. Let's see if I can find it. Oh man, so itchy. Oh wow, it is not easy to find, is it? Developer tools on Windows. I don't think this is really DevTools. Here, this is most likely it. Yeah, okay. So you can download it from the Microsoft Store. It is called DevTools. It's by NanoDrip, really? NandoRip. This isn't the one that I have installed, so I cannot recommend this. I have not tried it. I don't know where the one that I got is from. It has to be this. It has to be this. Because this is what mine looks like. And so one of the tools in here is the color picker when you push Windows Shift C. And then you have this nice little color picker. Okay, so linear gradient, 0 degrees. We said that we're starting at bar purple 1, purple 3. Right. Did I actually map you guys directly to? How about this? Let's make a card background gradient instead, and we'll define it here. Close, very close. And you don't need to specify the amount, not the amount, the stop for the first stop, because it always defaults to 0. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, I actually need to save this as well. Okay, okay. Where are we? Here. Yes! We do have a gradient, but it doesn't seem like it's going from the left to the right. It almost seems like it's going from bottom to top. So let's see what happens if we tell it we want it to be at 90 degrees. Yeah, that's better. Do you enjoy WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux? I know my networking friends really despise the use of WSL. Sorry, I'm usually on Ubuntu, but on Windows due to only one laptop remaining for travels. Don't care to break it. Understand? I've only had the opportunity or chosen to use WSL once, and it was for the dev Docker thing, for setting up Docker on my dev machine. But since I didn't get very far into that, I don't have a lot of experience with it. So, I mean, it feels like a normal terminal to me. It feels pretty seamless to use, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it compares to using a full Linux distro install, because it's been a really long time since I've worked on an actual Linux machine. Okay, so we got the background. How does that compare to the design again? It kind of looks like we need the gradient to be a little deeper, darker. I mean, it's still readable. It's decent contrast. We should be good. Element not interesting for accessibility. Still no? What does that even mean, element not interesting for accessibility? I need to know whether the text on this background is good. How about we just turn on Wave? It'll be fine. Where's Wave? Oh, it's right there. Zero contrast errors. Okay. What is this one? Empty button. Fine. That's because I haven't hooked everything up yet. All right. Thank you, Wave. Okay. So once again, we are done with mobile view for the second time until we come back to it and be like, we missed this other thing. No, I keep looking for git changes down there. Updated static render for landing page. We'll commit that one individually. Stagey. Then we added background gradient to cards in track transactions section. Commit. Okay, I'll go ahead and push this so that it is in GitHub. Again, you can see the project on GitHub. We're in a branch called Task 52 Revamp Layout, because we are redesigning the UI for the finished application. By the way, the application has been finished already and is usable. Okay. So let's get out of mobile view, stick to, what is this called? Screen view. And do some design. Okay, so screen view, I think we have stopped ourselves right at the breakpoint, which is 480. Good. Okay. And we need to fix this version of the view. So let's do that. And we're going to go one section at a time, starting with the top bar. So that should be this one, 480. Oh, excuse me. Stretch break. Nobody ordered it, but I'm getting a stretch break. Also, I want to know if this is working. Hello? Please work. Right here. No. Are you listening to chat? What did we recently talk about? Oops. Coding in Python, WSL, and Microsoft Developer Tools. Okay, good. So why is the bot broke? Den. I'm gonna check the logs because it's been happening way too much that we haven't been getting the archery game redemption. I'm seeing the bot acknowledging that channel points were redeemed for this user. However, this would be on C drive, something apps. What did I call it? It's none of those. Maybe I put it on D drive. D drive. Web server apps. Twitch bot. Oh, nope. There's a separate logs out here. And then Twitch bot there. Standard error. Any errors for today? None. So since I've restarted the bot, there have been no errors. And standard out. Interesting. Again. Nothing. Nothing at all. Why not? And then if I open game view in a browser, it seems baroque. Failed to load resource. The server responded with 404. And then it worked that time. What? Okay. And then archery. And there it is. On screen at least. Just get these done quickly. Shoot at about a 6 degree, 80 power. 5.5. Pew. And 5.3. Pew. Yay. Okay, so that worked fine. Oop, which one was that? 7269. If I check OBS, we're gonna go dark mode. 7269 is you. I click OK, I click a refresh, and back to desktop and archery. Yay! Oh, you're so weird. You're so weird, little bot. Shoot 180. 1.1. It's a tiny target. to likely ban evader. How did you evade ban? Did that actually show up in chat? No. Okay. We are going to interesting. It just doesn't work. Okay. Anyway, we're good to go. Everything is working the way that it should. So we're going to continue on where we were. We were talking about extension types. What? When was I on this page? Explore latest C# 13 features. Must have been from a community day like 2 or 3 community days ago. Okay, so here we are looking at mobile view. What would happen if we took off the maximum nothing, because all we're doing is changing the font size of the top bar. And that's medium. What would happen if we took away the maximum of... Right. Okay, so we made a decision at the beginning of the CSS stuff that we were going to do all of the styling for widescreen initially. And then we overrode styling when it was on mobile view. And I was wanting just now to have the styling from mobile view bleed over into the next breakpoint. But I can't do that because my base styling is widescreen stuff. Boo. So maybe we can consider how we could refactor this so that it's cleaner and would have less repeated code. One thing that I'm going to try right now is to create a mixin, and we're going to call it narrow top bar. And that is going to be the styles that we are using for small. Hopefully that's the end of that, because I don't want to keep sneezing. It's going to make me dizzy and I'm going to forget what I'm doing. It's going to make everything hard. That sneeze was good enough. We're good. We're good. Okay. Did I actually copy this? I don't remember if I copied it. Copy. Pasta. Okay. Now we're going to include narrow top bar. So if you haven't used Sass before, especially SCSS syntax, this is a way to essentially create a component or a method or a function or a variable that will hold all of these style rules, and then you can use them wherever you want. So here I am going to include all of the rules that we just used for the small, but then update the font size for the header. So what do we currently have the font size at? Font size body. I think we can get away with font size. Oh man, it looks like we need to be at 5. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so if we go more narrow, we're at font size body for the header. More wide, we're at font size H5. Nice, and we're done with the top bar. The issue is that that stays, well, am I angry about this? And yes, there is some kind of background that's happening still. Okay, so I was crazy, but not about the background actually getting a background color. Why are you getting a background color? Oh, yeah. Oh, but that's doing what I want it to do. So we're good. I need this rule. And we need the expanded. Not expanded, expanded. And the expanded that we need is on app links. So is that where we are? App links and expanded. Yes. Okay, I fixed that. Yeah. So now what do you look like on mobile? The way that you're supposed to. Oh, thank goodness. Well, that's better. Happy about that. So we're overwriting the app title, and I think we're good with the top bar on the next breakpoint. So commit. Added top bar styles on VM breakpoint. Commit. So now we're moving on to the next section, which is the hero. Hero, main page hero, I think is what this says. Main page hero. And the markup for that looks like this. Okay, what do we want different for the main page hero when we are squished like this? At 480. Wow. Kind of looks like we need to stay with the small breakpoint styles again. Except the font sizes are going to be different. And now what this is starting to look like is I am designing this starting from mobile view, which is the recommendation that a lot of people have made in the past. And I'm starting to see why. Not helpful. Dang it. So again, another mix-in for, what did I call this? Narrow. Yeah, let's just call it narrow hero. That works for me. And we're going to include include. Now I'm typing hash for everything because I just saw the ID for hero and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be using hashes, huh? I mean octathorpes. Okay, so what does that look like? Oh, nothing yet until I apply it to medium. Okay. I don't mind that. What does it look like when we stretch it out? Yeah, I don't like the picture growing. I really don't like the picture growing and shrinking at a steady pace. Still don't know what to do with that. If any of you do have suggestions on what I should do with the image and maybe an implementation of your idea, that would be awesome. If you don't, that's completely okay too. But I really don't like the... What am I trying to say? The proportional growing and shrinking with the viewport of the image. I just don't know what to do about it. And also, at what point did I get the horizontal scroll bar back? Was it from the beginning? Hello, Emporium guy. How are you doing on this fantastic Wednesday? Shout out to Emporium guy. He's been doing some Blazor work. And I haven't been following you, but I have been catching your streams. Again, I don't have the stream turned up very loud, and I'm not fully following what you're doing, but I do see you working in web technologies, and it looks like you're having fun, so I hope you actually are. Aura. Yeah, I'm really, really not liking that behavior at all. So we got the horizontal scroll because of the overflow on the hero section for this grid. And I think that can be fixed with grid template columns, where the get your finances on track is taking up 1 FR and the image is taking up a minimum of 390 pixels minus the padding minus 2. This 2 is coming from the gap. Or no more than 50 VW minus 3 rems. I don't like that rule. Doing good, just finished up some chores I had to do. Back to Blazor in a bit. Awesome. Other than that, Blazor is nice but painful. I'm assuming you mean the learning process, or maybe you have learned enough about it and you're like, there are things that it does, or that it has you do in specific ways that are just not the way that they should be done. Oh man. I sneezed, and now my head is a little muzzy, to use that word. Okay, one thing at a time though. That's where we are. We're gonna do the thing where we ignore the horizontal scroll for now. It's probably because of these lower sections that we haven't gotten to yet. So let's go ahead and continue as we were. Because this grid here is going to matter more when we are at the next size up, where we have the text on the left and the picture on the right. So we're going to ignore it for now. So give me that. The thing that I wanted to fix was the border showing up here on the right. And what's happening is that because of the overflow X with the scroll bar, the picture is allowed to be bigger than we would prefer. Okay, so that'll get fixed as soon as we get everything else styled in such a way that there is no horizontal overflow. Horizontal sloverflow. I'm going to keep following this pattern for now, but what we're going to find out is that I really want to just move this into the base styling and then only have an override for the larger size. It's kind of what I'm seeing. So let's save this. Commit this. Why am I still looking for get changes down here? What do you look like if you are down here? Get changes. Gimme. Can I even put you down here? It doesn't look like I can put it down there. Yeah, I don't like it. I wouldn't be able to read the changes that I've made. This never works for me. Wow. Introduced a new media query. Yeah, great commit message. Cancel. Added media query styles for medium screen. Net. I have stashes. When did I have stashes? I just clean out my stashes without verifying that I didn't need them. We haven't used them for this long, therefore we don't need them, therefore they're just mess. I like to clean up messes. That's terrible. Okay, next section, track transactions. Let's just follow the pattern. I'm gonna mute my mic while I play this, but I need to let this thing play. Thank you for your patience. Probably could have played a ad during that so that we can disable pre-rolls, but whatever, doesn't matter. I push this button, I push more button, and subscribe. So, this Friday will be the last day that I have to call in to check for jury duty status, or check for jury duty for the following week. But after that, I should be done with jury duty for 2 years. Hooray for that. The mod is back. Where? We can't be evil in chat anymore. You could always be evil in chat. You'll just have to deal with the consequences of it. I don't want you to be. But if that is your choice, then yeah. You do you, and I will keep my channel safe. But I'm not the mod. Okay. Circling back around to my brain, functioning again at some point in time, we are going to narrow you back down to 481. Yeah. Cool. So that we can see what it looks like. And everything looks off-centered at the moment because of the whole sizing overflow issue. View transaction history. We're going to try the same. So what I just did was updated. Interesting. I updated the styling in this track transactions section to match the mobile styling, but it's not matching the mobile styling. Or is it? Yeah, it looks like the title is still getting centered. And yeah, it looks like both of these elements are getting centered. Which doesn't make sense. Yeah, not only that, the button isn't being centered either. Interesting. How confusing. Why would changing to a mix-in cause issues? We'll have to explore that. Let's just continue doing what I was doing, and then we will see if after fixing the footer it behaves the same. Not centering a div. Centering content inside of a div. Narrow section. Include, unless that's what I did. I did import in the other one for some reason. Okay, that looks normal. And footer. Mixing. No. So I don't like that when you're in regular C# and you do the collapse, whatever this is called. These aren't really regions. Collapse block, maybe? What do you actually say here? All right, click. Nothing. Anyway, this collapse thing, which collapses the block, will collapse the block of the method that you're on or of the line that you're on. And in CSS, when you do the keystroke Control MM, it collapses the nearest curly brace, or before the previous curly brace. So if I was here, it would collapse nothing because this isn't inside of a curly brace. But if I was here, it would collapse that one. If I was here, it would collapse the previous one, the next one. And this is what I keep wanting to collapse. It's lining them up. Anyway, that's just a small grape. Don't mind me. Include nettle footer. Save. Our footer is back to here. So what is going on? Footer, why are you still too wide? Because of the image. Image, why are you too wide? Or why are you allowed to get this wide? Is it because you have a minimum width? Okay, and this is why I did small commits, by the way. So I am going to squash commit those three since they are essentially the same thing, which is that we added the same breakpoint styles. Applied the same breakpoint styles from small to medium viewport, because that is all that we really did, and we changed the font size, but that's about it. So now I need to find out why this thing is not allowing it to, or is giving me some kind of minimum width, which I don't think it is, but it's getting box sizing border box, which is good. It doesn't have any extra margin on the outside. And then you have the extra padding, but you're also box size border box. So the padding is inside of the border and it's sizing based off of the border, which means that this width here, 474.6 plus 6.4 is 481, which is absolutely correct as far as the viewport width. But we're getting the issue with the scroll bar. The scroll bar is covering part of the viewport. And I really dislike that. So like the scroll bar gutter is the thing that's causing this horizontal scroll. And I don't know how to fix that. We tried looking at it before. Yeah, so we now have two issues in this view. Issue number one is that the header is still centering itself. The subtitle content is also centering itself. So if I gave section title a border, px solid, and the section subtitle border 1px solid, then we see that they are the same size and they are not centered. But there's the content inside is supposed to be centered, but the elements themselves are indented by this padding. Oh gosh. Okay. Dilly Millie says, when you enter mid conversation on a dev discussion and get completely lost in 2 seconds, period. So, do you prefer more front end work? I prefer back end and middle tier. So, I really, really, really love writing functionality and making things work in the background without being seen. However, my role in my current position requires me to do the full stack. So I want to gain skills in front-end development. That's why you're seeing me do it on stream. Okay. Your padding is default padding mobile. For index page section. Index page has a media query. At Nixon. Personally, prefer back-end work as well. Cool. And forgive me for not remembering, but you can always remind us what you typically do in your development time. There we go. All right. Whoops. So that's one of the issues. The second issue is still the scroll bar, the horizontal scroll bar buffer. And I would, and what would I do? I would tell this thing to honor the gutter somehow. Like I remember doing it in DDMS. Let's see. No, I remember doing it in my work product for the previous place that I worked at. And so one of the issues we had was that when the screen was too narrow, the content shifted over, and it ended up being because of the scroll bar gutter. So I used some CSS rule to change that, but I no longer have access to that code. So yeah, I can't use it as an example. So we're gonna have to research it again. Boo. But what I was gonna say is that I would just figure out what the width of a typical scroll bar is and then add a padding right for that amount. We may still end up with a horizontal scroll, unfortunately. Oh, we got a response. So Dilly Millie says, my time right now, I'm transferring myself out of networking since I don't want to continue paying the 200 plus in certs and learning how to do game development now. After I get that down a bit, I want to take the time designing websites for a side hustle for photography. Awesome. One of our long-standing friends named Broken Sword has a photography business thing, and he has a website for it too called Jeffrey Paget. Do I have it bookmarked in my other Chrome? Yes, I do. Cool. And so that's definitely lucrative. So this is his website, his photography at that. Oh my gosh, I love seeing his images. They're so, so good. Yeah. So this is his website. And so, yeah, I think that you could do some pretty amazing things with, that was cool. It took a while for it to load, and it was like, here's an animation for you while it loads. There is good opportunity for you to make some really, really cool web applications or websites in general. For he's updated this. There's some new pictures. Gosh, I keep getting distracted. Yeah. Anyway, cool stuff for you to be able to do as well. You're more of a landscape photographer, so networking is a bit different. I love landscapes too. Absolutely. Would love to see anything that you create, so keep us posted when you do work in that. How to get rid of this horizontal scroll? Was there another component that has a media query? Main layout. Nope, I did not put a media query in main layout. Oh, we can get rid of this. And you go down here. And you go down here. Or do you? You do. Don't need you open. All right, so we have the footer, which we just copied over the same styles that we're using for mobile view. We have the main index page, which is our landing page. The logo didn't have any media queries. Main layout didn't have any media queries. The hero section, we copied it over. Top bar, we copied it over. And then changed the font size. And so the reason that you see me putting the whole selector for the rule is specificity. So this rule is specified inside of this narrow top bar and inside of the top level somewhere using the very in body. It's not specified up here, but it is specified in narrow top bar. So in order to override it without using exclamation point important, I am just using the same selector further down in the file. What else? The track transactions section, just copied over the same, and view transaction history section, just copied over the same for the small/mobile. What else might I be missing? Global styles. Do we have any media queries there? No. Man, so what is it? We don't have the scroll bar anymore in mobile view. There is a small gutter, but it's doing the floating scroll bar. Oh, awesome. Yes, please. I want to see. So Dilly Millie says that they have shared photos in Discord. You can put them on in the one of the show off channels so that it's not. I mean, we don't really have all that much content anyway, so, or, traffic, busyness. But if we had a lot of traffic, then I would urge you to put it in one of the show off channels. But this is fine. This is absolutely fine. Oh my gosh, super high quality. Dillian. That's a really cool name. And then, ooh, this looks US-ish. I was trying to figure out where to post it before I post it in general. There should be a show off channel with shared portfolios and personal sites, shared any, current projects, any of those. But this is fine. This is absolutely fine. The first two you see is from an iPhone 7. Dag. So these two are iPhone 7. And did you do any amount of touch up afterwards? Did you do color retouch? Did you modify the sky or anything? Or is this directly from the iPhone and it's post-processing stuff that it does automatically? Because not to say that doing any post-processing is bad. That enhances images and that's a skill in itself too. So not trying to say that it would be bad if you did. I'm just curious if you did. Here is another picture. Didn't edit too much. Man. Do you feel like sharing where this is? Because it kind of looks Midwest-ish, or, well, not with this much water. West Coast? Mountain is from an iPhone 12, and after that, the other two are from iPhone 15. Nevada or Montana. That's cool. That's really cool. Oh, this one looks like it's going to be really, really cool looking. But I want to look at this one for a little while longer. First two are Missouri. Aha. And the next three are Oklahoma. No wonder it looked familiar. I used to live in Missouri and I drove a lot through Oklahoma. I mean, Missouri. This looks cool. I love being able to see images on rock faces. Like, as humans, we look for things that look like faces. And this to me looks like some kind of weird dog thing that's a little what's the word I'm looking for? It needs some nourishment. It's malnourished and is like begging for stuff. This looks like Optimus Prime, but crossed with Skeletor, and there's some faces over here that I see. This is some kind of really cool fish creature, dinosaur looking thing. Oh, I love playing pictures, the whatever it is that I'm looking at. This looks like a creepy thing that should come out of a videotape and jump scare you. No offense to that person, by the way. I mean it in love. Is this a seam? A purposeful seam, or is it just actually how the rock face looks? Spent quite a time editing that, quite a bit of time editing that, since I wanted it to look like a mixed reality. It's actually a cut off waterfall. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, one of the things that I find the most impressive is image compositing. Like where you can take a whole bunch of different elements, stuff them together in the same graphic or image, and make it look seamless. That's crazy. Anyway, I like this stuff. So it takes an 80-degree turn off. But instead you're like, nope, we need more rock. And this is what it would be without the person. Wow. Yeah, so this thing here that looks like a seam is actually the edge of the rock. That's crazy looking. This sharp angle on that. Anyway, this is really cool. I like it. Yeah, I can definitely see the divot. You have the right word for it. I'm just calling it a sharp cut. That's cool. I want to go here. Thank you so much for sharing that, though. I really, really, really like these. I love the skies. Midwest skies, man. Weird. Where's the... It's back there. Okay. Okay. Do you like Portal? I'm just a landscape photographer, but making a network out of it is not easy. So when you were saying networking, I thought you were actually talking about, setting up, doing network admin type stuff, where you configure routers, switches, firewalls, set up network infrastructure, all of that stuff. But you actually mean networking business-wise. Or personal. Oh, you okay. So you did do network admin in Oklahoma for about a year. So it wasn't too far off, thank goodness. Oh man. That was really nice. It was very calming to my brain, which is also kind of bad because now I just want to go look at landscape pictures for a while. See nature at its coolest. Oops. I just did a thing I didn't need to do. Copy this to over here. Let's do you and change that. I just work with 2 game companies now, and I want to grow my own hobbies into something. I also have hobbies that I want to focus on for a while. I've never really gotten to a point where I don't want to do software development, and I still don't feel like that. I want to do software development all the time, but also less so that I could spend more time on the hobbies. And it's such a weird feeling. One of my hobbies right now is music, and I just keep thinking about it. I want to go over to my keyboard and continue adding stuff. Hello, 8 bits per play. Whoa, I cannot type suddenly. Shout out, not shout out. 8 bits or 9 bits, all hands. 8 bits per play is a Unity developer working in cutting edge Unity technologies for 2D and most likely 3D. Just cutting edge Unity. So he's already messing around in Unity 6. He's coming up with Sprite Asset Helper, Sprite everything. And yeah, check out his streams. Great times. I usually hang out very quietly in a lot of people's streams, if you couldn't tell. And his is definitely one of them that I try not to miss. Good times. Okay, where are we? Horizontal scroll is still an issue. Horizontal scroll. Also, suffering from now being able to memorize how to do a star. Is that an actual thing off the top of my head without reference? What is a star? Please educate us. Graph traversal. It's an algorithm. Pathfinding algorithm used for enemy, NPC, and other AI movement logic. Yay. That sounds like something interesting and fun. Okay, so it did. Gosh, does it really do stuff like this in larger apps? It kind of feels... I keep going back to Fidelity because I really like their mobile view and their hero section. But their breakpoint stuff does not feel as harsh in mine. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, and look, they even have the same horizontal scroll issue that I do. And what they did to battle against it for their content is to add a margin right. Or padding. It's one of them. Looks like a margin. And they also have a full screen or a full height scroll bar. Yeah, look at this is so weird. Just so weird. Why Firefox? Let's take a look at the app in Chrome. Or in, sorry, this is Chrome. Let's take a look at the app in Firefox. 8-Bit says, think letting characters understand how to move around obstacles, climb ladders, stairs to get to the player and more. Yeah, definitely understand pathfinding. And Big Gamey is has been struggling with it. He hasn't streamed for the past 2 days, so I don't know where he actually is with his Journey Jam game. But he was doing a pathfinding type thing for all of the meeples in his game. And yes, I'm gonna call them meeples. And look, we get the floating scroll bar in Firefox for free, and we don't get the horizontal scroll. Chrome. Oh, Chrome. Why must you do this? Why? Is there anything that I can do? Wait, why does the scroll bar go away eventually though? Now that makes even less sense. It's the hero. It's the hero section? Dilly Millie says, so yeah, I'm just around to learn yours and others' website streaming tutorials so I can get my landscape out there to be seen. Awesome. Reason I was asking on how you made yours public and such. Okay. One of the easiest ways to get started, if you're having a lot of static type of content, one of the easiest ways to get hosted and have your portfolio out there to begin with without your own domain or anything like that yet, is to use GitHub static pages. Oh, I guess we do want to go to mine. So in GitHub, create your repository, and let's do the Blazor component library. One thing you'll see in the Blazor component library is this GH pages branch, which is the demo of the library and all of the sample data and all that stuff. And the way that I got that to work was using a NuGet package called static pages, WebAssembly static pages, something like that, where it set up everything that I needed in order to be able to deploy and commit to this repo. And then it creates the GitHub static pages. So when I go to onelion.github.io/repo name, there's the app. It's WebAssembly, it's interactable, it's the same app that would be on a fully hosted web application if I wanted it to be, but it's free and it lives with the repo. So you could create your repo. The repo itself could be private, and then the GitHub pages could be public. What else? Yeah, that's it for now. So that's one option. Another one is Azure Static Web Apps. And another one is, oh yeah, and then there's hosting. So Azure Static Web Apps is, I haven't used it, so I'm probably talking out of my ass, but essentially free for small static applications, I've heard people say. And then for this website here, this one is actually hosted on AWS in an Elastic Beanstalk. And right now it's just a static page, but it will be interactable. Actually, it is interactable, but I mean, it's still WebAssembly, so it's all in the browser. It's all client side. But when I add more stuff to it, like a bot helper, for example, maybe I'll host my bot on the same application that my business application is on, or company's website, whatever you want to call this. So this, like, my entire intention with the logo was there's this kind of portal type thing, and we're looking at automated realms, so if you don't interact with it, it'll automatically start spawning particles. And this is all Blazor, by the way. I actually, this one doesn't use, oh yes, yeah, since you need an API call for hosting the bot, yeah. So the Elastic Beanstalk would be the host. It would have my controller stuff for doing all of the bot related things, all of the server stuff. But if my bot was only the client connection to IRC and we just used the Twitch connection thing and we didn't need to have secrets, protected secrets, then this could just be a static app with the UI that does all of my Twitch stuff. But yeah, so it'll spawn particles. The intention was that it'll spawn particles faster and faster over time. And then when the particle count gets to a certain number, and it would probably be based on total worldwide visits and number of people that are clicking and stuff like that, then it'll start whirring. It'll start making a color and maybe spin. I don't know. And then eventually it will open up a portal, which will be a window to maybe a stream, and then maybe another one, it's just a preview of an app like the financial management tracker or the Blazor components. Maybe it is a commercial for some automation being done in a project. Maybe it's music, maybe it's clothing, whatever realms I'm planning on going into. Just have that be previewed on here with more information about that. But yeah, essentially we need your help to power the website. So spawn particles. I haven't implemented any of that, by the way. But that was the intention. Maybe one day. And look, there's a MicroProse link finally for Irish John Games. Probably showed up a few times by now, but yeah. Okay, so I want to solve this. When we are wide enough, like even here, even on the large screen size, we have a horizontal scroll until (946 pixels? Yeah. Then at 947 pixels, we lose our horizontal scroll. If the issue was that the horizontal scroll bar showed up because of the vertical scroll bar's gutter, we wouldn't see the horizontal scroll bar disappear ever. But it did. So let's pick something that does have a media query. Like the top bar. And see if at 947 media query applies. I don't see anything changing. Okay, what is our breakpoint for the super wide? Breakpoints. Yeah, it's not even at a breakpoint that it's happening. See, I never dealt with front-end hosting and such. I was dealing with server issues in C# more than anything. Yeah, that sounds fun though. Sounds like a job that I would really, really enjoy, but I've been doing web applications since about 2009, officially. Yeah, so I've just kind of stuck with full stack. And then I was a solo developer from when I got my first actual software development job through about 2022. Yeah, 2022. And then I went to work at Sagetti. And then I was on a team, and then I was like, this is not for me. So I left that team and I'm back to working solo. So you had to enjoy the rise of React, JavaScript, and Node, really making things over-engineered and stupid. I didn't really have to touch those. I was always a .NET developer. Well, always. When I was doing official work, when I was doing work product stuff, it was always in .NET. Or ASP Classic, I guess, when I started. Which Thindle, who showed up, is also needing to do some ASP Classic stuff. But he is a .NET developer as well who's been working on a e-commerce platform that he's been working on since, what'd you say, 2002? 2004? I think. But he's just making it amazing. And I don't exactly know what your project was yesterday that you were doing. I just know that you were messing around with CSS and you're like, I don't care about anyone else's opinion except for Ed's. But it was very, it seemed like a brand new project. Was it your form builder? Oh, I can't think of what you called it. You were just redesigning it or trying to do an actual UI design on it? What happened? Oh man, there is so much wrong with this. Okay. Thoughts, anyone, on why there is a scroll bar all the way up until 929? What did we say? Yeah, 947. 946, and then there is a scroll bar. What can I check? Main content. Let's start there. Main content is 946 pics. Until we move one more pixel to the right. Yeah, and now it's 947 pics. So there is no reason for us to have a horizontal scroll on main content. So it's not main content. Index page, 947 width. So this article here, 946, same. No issues there. Header, hotbar, 946. The wrapper, 946. Our debug. It's always going to be small and offset from the right. What else can we check? The app, div app, 946. 947. Yeah, no reason whatsoever so far. Body, 946. What if we put the scroll bar on the wrapper? That sucks. So that seems to have gotten rid of our horizontal scroll bar. Anyone else have an overflow set? Night. Our fly out. No overflow. It'd be so stupid if it was the Blazor error thing and this wouldn't happen in the published version. I would yell at someone. I'd be like, yo, no, that's not how this works. Okay, turn off overflow auto. Let overflow be on app. That gives us a horizontal scroll bar. Thank you so much, Toasty. Thanks for the lurk. The scroll bar is now a feature. Solved. Thanks, Matt. We're going to keep it. Oh, man. Yeah, so again, if it was a sizing issue on an element constantly overflowing because we have margin and padding added up and it's bleeding over the edges, then we would have a constant scroll bar the way that we have now. But with the way that the styles are currently being applied, we only get the scroll bar when we are smaller than 947 pixels. And that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Wait, what? Wait, what? This makes it look like the content for index page has a margin or is somehow bleeding over the scroll bars, doesn't it? It's because you're a container? No. Auto 1 FR for rows, not columns. There's still only one column. So what is the deal? It's so confusing. Like the thing that would make me, the thing that I am leaning toward is that the combination of hero left section and image is causing it to bleed over until whatever minimum width for each of those things is. So let's test overflow on the hero section. hidden. And then it just collapses completely. Not exactly sure why it collapsed completely. But regardless, we're still getting a horizontal scroll. So let's keep that, and let's just keep going. What happens if we do overflow hidden on that section? Ooh. Oh. Oh, wait, what? How is... I think we found it. 8 bits per plate says, oh, you mean the lovely issue where Blazor caches stuff without recompiling updates? Who said that? Was it me? I don't remember what I said to encourage that comment, but I don't think it was me. I think one of the things that's happening is even... We haven't gotten to that size yet, so I shouldn't be playing with it at that size. But it's still highly possible. Overflow hidden. Nope. That it was that section, but it's not. Hero section. Let's get back to you. Overflow hidden. Nope. Still not you. View transaction section. Overflow hidden. Okay, so the combination of those, let's see what other combination we can come up with. Get rid of this one. We're no longer overflow hidden for the track transactions. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. So confusing. No longer overflow hidden for the header. Okay, so the header is still giving me a horizontal scroll. And so confusing. It doesn't care about that one at all. Oh, because it is overflow hidden regardless on the base version of it. Okay, cool. What if we turn that off? Then we get a scroll. Oh, this is so confusing to figure out. What would you be? Why? Because we have a gap, but that's... What if we change you to gap, to row gap only? Because there are no columns currently. That doesn't do anything. What if we turned off the gap? What if we're one column, one FR, width 100 VW? It's none of those. Is it content inside of you that's causing it? We're going to figure this out. Not you. App preview wrapper. Not you. So if it's not the content, but when we turn on overflow hidden, we get rid of the horizontal scroll. Is that confusing to anyone else, or am I just... Yeah, look at the hero section. Why are you 839? No, you are following the width of page. I am absolutely lost. You're the thing that gets the scroll bar, right? Man, I think this is making me want to break down and just break down. I just want to break down. The end. This makes me want to switch to not having a transparent background title bar, which was the goal this whole time, because I want this background graphic to extend into the title bar and have this kind of seamless title bar bottom to the rest of the content. But I'm kind of starting to want to just have solid color background so that I can get a full scroll bar and not have to worry about any of these sizing issues. Because I think the sizing issue is coming from the page wrapper. Nope, not the page wrapper. From this body content. Wait, that is the page wrapper. From the page wrapper. And why didn't that do anything? Oh my gosh. Oh, you are overflow auto already. Weird. Yeah, so here's what it does if I have the scroll bar on the main content. It sizes everything the way that it's supposed to. Everything stays within its bounds, no horizontal scroll, although it does look like this is bleeding over to the left when it shouldn't be. This is not centered because of the padding on left and right. Just a lot of weird issues. And then if I did the thing that I want to do, which is to get the top bar to be positioned sticky, top 0, then when I scroll, oh, and let's give it a Z index of 2. Then when I scroll, you can see the content behind the title bar because the title bar does not have a background color. So I would need to give it a background color. Primary background color. Which kind of creates this harsh line at the bottom that I don't want. But it fixes all of my sizing issues. So maybe we will go with that. Unless I can figure out what's going on with this horizontal scroll. The other thing that it could be is no, it's not, because the padding doesn't make it wide enough to give us a horizontal scroll. And what happened? I just... yeah. Gosh. There is some overflow happening with the images here. That's one thing. don't know. I don't know. But that's going to be it for today. We're going to end on a confused note. I hope that's okay with you. If not, I do apologize. I'll make it up to you someday. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. I hope you guys enjoyed your time. I'm going to get back to work and work on things that I'm comfortable working on and a little bit more knowledgeable about than CSS and styling. I say that, but I still have some confidence in my ability to implement someone else's design. The thing that I really think would be cool is if I could have the title bar with the blank, with the transparent background, and have like a disappearing content when the text goes behind it without needing to set a background color on it. That would be very nice. But yeah, Stilly Millie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing those pictures. It was really cool. Always feel free to use us as a resource in your dev journey. We're around-ish. And I am looking for someone to raid. Right now there are a lot of game developers streaming that I follow. Lots and lots of game developers. And what is World of Full Learn working on today? What are you doing right now? Are you doing dev work or are you back into the art part? You are doing dev work. So here is some Python development. You definitely don't have to stick around if you're not into that kind of thing, but I do recommend that you hang out while we head over to Will the Fool Learn? Will the Fool Learn? Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I do post the videos, the VODs of my streams to YouTube at some point in time in the future after the stream. And you are always welcome to join our Discord, no pressure. If you're already a part of way too many Discord servers, I understand. And we will be streaming again on Friday, and we'll have a community day on Friday, which is a day where I invite you to bring up topics. We have discussions around whatever technology topics or channel relevant topics you want to have conversations about. You can use your voice by joining Discord. Also remember that on Friday, TBD Gamer will also have a community day during his 7 a.m. Eastern time, UTC -4. TBD Gamer. No, my waving game. That's not going to expire before the raid happens, but anyway, definitely give him a check. He is an app developer. A check. Definitely watch his channel someday. Okay, ciao for now. Goodbye. I'll see you later.